Yeah, there's no way. Hey guys, welcome back. That tire was just for fun. It was a freebie. That's more for mock-up purposes. I just wanted to see what it would kind of look like. I like the profile of it, but that one's way too wide. That's what's considered a small tire. That's a 27 by 10. Small tire maximum is like 29 by 10 and a half. And obviously, there's no way with the fender well and the frame being that close, anything that wide, nowhere near that wide, is going to fit anyway. But again, that was just for fun. So I know it's been a while since I uploaded my last video. This time I actually have a good excuse. May 3rd, I had unexpectedly lost my job. So I was out of work for about 6 weeks. Obviously I'm back at work. About middle of June, I started my new job. So you can imagine my priorities had shifted quite a while between then and now. So not a lot of time out here between learning the new job, getting used to my new schedule, things like that. But I've made some slow progress, and coincidentally, we were entering the phase of this project that was going to be very boring and uneventful. Not a lot of content of me just doing this. So as you can imagine, no one's gonna wanna watch a 20-minute video with that. So I can't make that interesting, but at least that's some of the tedious work you don't normally see that's now out of the way. I've got about half of the car done. Certain spots I didn't hit as hard as others. You can see kind of the shinier areas. It makes no difference. I'm still gonna wind up having to go back and do all this again, kind of with a higher speed wire wheel. Certain areas like in the trunk pan I didn't bother with because I'm going to be cutting all that out to replacing it anyway. Same with the floor pan areas. I haven't really got that far yet, but I'm kind of at that point now. But so far I've removed about 20 pounds of this stuff. That was my idea of content, because some of us are weird, and we just have to know how much weight we've removed. So I did sweep up and save every bit I removed, as dumb as that sounds. It is what it is. Now, of course, there's a better way to remove all that stuff. My tools of choice were a scraper, a screwdriver, and some wire wheels and my drill. Those turned out to be the best implements. There's obviously more professional ways. You put the whole body on a rotisserie and you bring it outside, well, or however you're gonna do it, and use an outdoor media blaster, and you can do the whole thing in like an hour. But so why am I not doing that method? Well, here's a big chunk of reasons. One, I'm by myself, and I would have to lower the body carriage back onto the frame after I put the wheels and tires back on, push it outside, and somehow wheel it onto the slab. But at the moment, as you can see, I have a lot of dirt work to do and concrete work to do down the road. I started this project kind of a little bit early, as I still didn't even have the carport, but also my yard turns into a river when it rains. So I have a lot of things to figure out, the design of how I'm gonna make this work. But again, get the whole car project onto the slab, get the frame out from under the body, which is fine. It's designed that way. I just have to get the quick jacks up another notch, get the frame out from underneath. No big deal. You'll see that in a future episode for sure. And then we get to, I don't have an outdoor media blaster. I'd have to go buy one. So go to Harbor Freight and buy the cheapest one, whatever. The media I would use would be like crushed walnut, because it's environmentally friendly, and a lot of this is probably going to wind up in my yard. But what I don't want to have happen is all of that crap fall into my yard. So of course I'd be setting up a tarp system to try to collect everything. And at that point, because it's all mixed, the media is mixed with all the garbage, now it's pretty much wasted. So I'll be dealing with 100% waste on the media I choose. And three, my compressor really can't keep up with a system like that, so I'd really have to get a different compressor. So you're talking a lot of money to just sandblast or media blast the bottom side of the car. Now, would that work on the exterior paint and everything too? Yeah, it would. But again, you lose a lot of media doing that, and then you're mixing the media with what you're spraying off. So that's a whole conversation to be had. We're not going to get any further into it. But again, the biggest problem is the cost effectiveness versus me just doing what I've been doing. When it comes time to removing the paint, I'll likely be using chemical strippers, and of course then wire wheels when we get to that point. The body's eventually going to go out there once the carport is up, and I don't know when that's going to happen. Didn't mean to rant about that, but I know there's much easier ways to clean a body than doing it by hand with scrapers. So far, it's cost me nothing. So there's that. Next step, obviously, once I get the undercoating off, is work on the floor pans and working on the trunk area. If you remember, I'm cutting into the hump where the differential goes, because I'm going to expand into the trunk to put a fuel cell up in the trunk area. So you'll see all that when we get to it. But between that and working on some of the doors, maybe it's all going to be metal work here soon. So we'll have something to watch finally. But other than that, guys, as far as the project, to stick to the point, why you want to watch this channel, I haven't really decided on the motor, powertrain, or anything yet. I'm just getting this down to the skeleton down to the bare metal, and then we'll build it back up and figure that out as we go. That's the fun of it. I had repositioned the quick jacks, and as you can see, I finally secured the front carriage portion. Everything's secured to itself. Put some washers and some big lag screws down through the body into the faux frame made of 2x4s. So that way the front is attached to everything. So if it were to tilt back, it would have to pull the whole quick jack assembly with it. But I did move the quick jacks themselves back about 10 inches. No real big updates. I bought a evaporative cooler. The thing is awesome. I've always wanted one of these. These are also known as swamp coolers. You just fill it with water and ice, and it just, I'm not going to get into how they work. You can look it up, but it definitely works. They say they don't work good in humid climates, but I don't know. I have no complaints, and this isn't even that. This is a small one. Moving over to the garage area, my old shop, if you remember back from the Audi videos, I vented my dryer. I moved my dryer back into the garage where it belongs, and it's vented outside now. So before it was in the house and venting into the garage, so I would get all these dust bunnies and clumps of dog hair everywhere, and my black car and black motorcycle would just get completely covered with dust and silt and lint, and it was so hard to keep anything clean in there. It was miserable. I hated it for the longest time, but I also bought my own little home gym. I got a little weight set up now, so the garage has come a long way from when you guys have seen it last, obviously. I finally fired up my generator after I bought it and never opened it for like a year. So I'm still breaking that in, so that's something new, I guess. Aside from that, guys, I'm trying to keep this video a little short because I really didn't make much progress on the car the last couple months, but I'm sure you guys understand. Life gets in the way sometimes, so big thank you to all my subscribers, both new and old, of course. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for sticking around. But thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.